Yep, it's happening. The rumors are officially starting. And I feel bad for Bucks fans, but at some point the noise just gets too loud and you have to address it. We officially have a report that, if true, would change the NBA and make the Warriors bigger and better than Michael Jordan's Bulls. Bleacher Report says people inside the league believe the Warriors traded for Andrew Wiggins just to get Giannis Antetokounmpo. The salaries do match. Golden State can offer Wiggins plus their own pick, potentially #1 overall, and Minnesota's pick in 2021. That's in the lottery, though top 3 protected. This obviously would change the league and basically decide the championship the next 4 to 5 years. But is that deal enough to get Giannis? Are the Bucks even trying to hear this? You know what? They may have no choice. This is an explosive rumor, but it's actually the latest whisper that we've heard that suggests Giannis could leave the Bucks in search of a title. In this video, we're breaking down how we got here with Giannis maybe leaving the Bucks, what a deal would look like with the Warriors or some other team, and I need you guys to tell me in the comments, which deal would you take if you're the Bucks, or would you just walk away? Hey guys, it's Casey Kiernan, host of the AM Hoops YouTube channel. Also check out the AM Hoops podcast. Just dropped a fresh pod this morning. Hit subscribe if you don't already. Coming out with 5 quality videos, Monday through Friday, dropping at 6 Eastern. Say what's up on Twitter at Casey Kiernan or over on IG at AM Hoops. Okay, so first thing, why would Giannis leave a team that he loves, that loves him back, he's been playing with his whole career, and who can pay him a lot more money? Well, the Supermax contract was actually created to help small markets like Milwaukee keep big stars like Giannis away from teams like the Warriors. If he's All-NBA or MVP, etc., he can take up to 35% of the salary cap. For Giannis, that would be $247 million that Milwaukee could give him over 5 seasons. That's $90 million more than any other team could offer. It would be the biggest contract in NBA history. Not bad for a kid whose only goal at one time was,
I want to be an NBA player.
So that's all good if you're Milwaukee. But here's the problem. Players eligible for the Supermax can sign it in the last year of their old deal, which means if they don't sign it, that last year could be pretty awkward. So even though Giannis is a free agent 2 summers from now, really it's this coming summer when we'll know. That means that this postseason could be it for Milwaukee. This is their chance to make sure that Giannis stays. But again, why would he leave? Well, your answer is in Los Angeles. Kawhi Leonard and Anthony Davis. Both guys were eligible for the Supermax with the Spurs and with New Orleans, and both guys turned it down. Kawhi, even though it wasn't offered to him, it would have been. He left $118 million on the table going from San Antonio to Toronto to LA. $118 million. They leave that kind of money on the table because it's about more than money to some of these big stars. I mean, I don't know what it's like to have $100 million, but I guess 50 million more isn't that big of a deal? Or maybe these guys want to live in a certain city like LA, or in this case, San Francisco. But forget money or where you live. I think Giannis is motivated by winning. He's not one of these flashy guys who's concerned about his fit before a game or dating some celebrity supermodel. I do believe he wants to win in Milwaukee, but if he can't do it, I think he'd be willing to leave to find that title. A report by ESPN's Malika Andrews came out shortly after the Bucks were eliminated in last year's playoffs. It said that Giannis may want to leave Milwaukee if the team doesn't make enough improvements to reach the NBA Finals this year. Giannis didn't like that report. He even walked out on that reporter in the playoffs.
You know, sometimes it takes experience. I'm wondering if now that you have some of that experience, if you see more validity to that point, or what you think about that now that you've gone through it.
Just about experience.
Awkward. Then there was the Harvard Business Journal, who quoted Giannis. They said that Giannis said, if they don't win a title this year, it'll be more difficult to re-sign. Giannis clapped back at that report too, claimed he never said those words. So clearly Giannis doesn't want to be a distraction in all this to Milwaukee, like he's seen other superstars be in the past. But a clock is ticking here for the Bucks. If he doesn't sign that Supermax extension this summer, a trade could be in the works. So the Warriors reportedly are planning, just in case that scenario plays out, they could offer Andrew Wiggins, their own draft pick, maybe number 1, and Minnesota's top 3 protected the following year. What could other teams offer? Well, the Anthony Davis trade to the Lakers, kind of similar to this Giannis one we're talking about, that got New Orleans 3 players, 3 first-round picks, and 2 pick swaps. So here's the list of teams that could get a deal like that done. Let's quickly go through all these scenarios, and we'll see which ones are realistic. So the Hawks get Giannis, the Bucks get Jeff Teague, Trae Young, Atlanta's first-round picks in 2020 and 2022, and Oklahoma City's first-round pick in 2022. The Celtics get Giannis, the Bucks get Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart, Enes Kanter, the C's first-rounders in 2020 and 2022, and Memphis's 2020 first-round pick. The Pelicans get Giannis, the Bucks get Zion Williamson, JJ Redick, and just 2 first-round picks here because of how valuable Zion would be. The Pellies 2020 first-rounder and the Lakers in 2021. The Thunder get Giannis. The Bucks get Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Steven Adams, plus Denver's 2020 first-rounder, Miami's in 2021, and the Clippers in 2022. The Sixers get Giannis, and the Bucks get Joel Embiid and 2 first-rounders, 2021 and 2023. The Suns get Giannis. The Bucks get Devin Booker and the Suns first-rounders in 20 and 2022. The Raptors get Giannis and the Bucks get Pascal Siakam and 2 first-round picks in 2020 and 2022. And finally, the Wizards get Giannis for Bradley Beal, the Wizards first-rounders in 20 and 22, and either Detroit or Chicago's 2022 second-round pick, which is more like a low first. Now, I think if I'm the Bucks, I would prefer any one of those big players mentioned in all those deals over Andrew Wiggins. But the issue here is that Giannis, if he wants to, could undercut all of those deals by saying that he will only re-sign with Golden State. That was the issue for the Spurs and Kawhi Leonard. I mean, why did they only get a pick, DeMar DeRozan, Jakob Poeltl? Because reports said that Kawhi was going to LA either way, and those reports proved true. So if the Bucks don't win this postseason, at least get to the NBA Finals and be competitive, Giannis could want out, and he might want the Warriors. Beyond just this rumor, recently Stephen Curry was seen talking to Giannis when the Bucks played the Warriors. It reminded people of Steph being extra friendly with Kevin Durant while he was still with Oklahoma City. Now, lip readers try to figure out what they're saying here, but Yahoo's Chris Haynes just texted Steph, and this is what he said. Look, all he was doing was giving Giannis his gamer tag for an online game called PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. He said he told Giannis, "Come see me on this game. We can team up, do some damage. Let's do it, come on." What? I'm sorry, but if I'm a Bucks fan, that report doesn't exactly make me feel comfortable, even if he's talking about an online game. Okay, but let's just say Giannis does want Steph Curry and not Chris Middleton to be the second best player on his team. What would that do to Giannis's reputation if he refused to sign the Supermax this summer? I mean, we saw how much Kevin Durant was ripped after he moved to Golden State. But what about like Anthony Davis? He demanded that trade out of New Orleans. I think people would definitely boo the heck out of Giannis, and it would be bad in the moment, but I think people would get over it. I mean, just look at AD. Yeah, people made him out to be the villain temporarily, but is anyone saying right now he should have stayed in New Orleans? I mean, maybe outside of Louisiana? Of course not. He had to go to LA to team up with another superstar. And if AD wins a title, he'll be celebrated as a Laker. And for all the people saying Giannis to the Warriors would be bad for the league, as much as they hate to admit it, people love dynasties. College football is hugely popular. Alabama. The NFL has become the most popular sport. Obviously, they've got a dynasty. And when was baseball its most popular in recent decades? When the Yankees were dominating the sport. Is it a coincidence that the Warriors dynasty is paused this year and the ratings have dipped? I don't think it would be bad for the NBA at all if Giannis left Milwaukee. But there is another option that we haven't mentioned yet. Milwaukee could say, okay, we hear your trade request. We're just not gonna honor it. We're gonna let it ride and bet that we win a title this final year. It would be the ultimate gamble, I mean, on one hand, you got the MVP on your team, one last shot to win your first championship in 49 years. On the other hand, you risk letting that guy walk for nothing when you could have brought back a haul and set up your future without him. So let me know what you would do if you're the Bucks. It's a really interesting conundrum, right? At least it's a lot of pressure on this postseason. And again, I think for Giannis, he values winning. Over loyalty, over money, those things are great, but you can't have it all sometimes in pro sports. He'll leave Milwaukee to win a championship if he has to, and that could be to Golden State. Support AM Hoops and click subscribe. Don't miss a daily NBA video.